A lot of early mornings up here trying to get dried in before the real cold comes. Just making breakfast right now. Got a nice little fire going, boiling some water for tea and oatmeal. And then we're going to put in some windows. We're putting the nailing flange on these windows.
You caulk around these flanges because they are not integrated into the window. So this is per manufacturer recommendation. For some reason this caulk is like very like viscous. Doesn't want to come out. This is a piece of clapboard. We cut the thicker edge of it because we made our openings pretty big. We were gonna do a full piece, but it kind of came out to here, and it would be a little weird to trim around it, so we just ripped these down to the depth of the window. I cut it 12 inches longer than the width of the window, so it goes up about 6 inches on the sides. So this stuff is very sticky, real fun to work with. I made a mark kind of in the center, and then I folded this in half so it has a little bit of a crease.
Just trying to get the tape really tight behind our little subsill. The Bondo scraper really helps you to get the corners nice and tight.
Sticks to itself really well. It also wrinkles very easily.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
There it is.
That is the sill pan flashing.
It's nice to
And
smooth it out with this.
is the zip roller just a marketing scheme? Or
Yes.
does it actually work?
I think you would be way better off with just like a hard rubber roller.
Yeah, I don't like these little Z's.
The
They kind
Z's
of-
hold it back.
Yeah, they hold it back from. The next step is cutting the flashing for the side of the windows. This is just 6-inch zip tape. Yes, I went all out on the zip tape. Probably spent thousands of dollars in zip tape at this point.
Put the bottom in.
We've got our laser set up here so we can make sure that the bottom of the window is level. So just take a measure. It's about 1 7/8 on that side. And 1 7/8 on this side. Well, there's snow now. Really put a little bit of a damper on everything. So we installed this window and we're gonna work on these two. We were able to get the lift back here. We'll see about getting around back, but that's where we're at. Since it's been snowing, these sills are wet, so we've taken to drying them with a heat gun. Where is it building in the cold season? Not what I would call fun. All the second floor windows are installed, aside from the stairwell. We're going to be dried in today. Roofer's going to finish up the roof. We've got all our windows in on the south wall now. So this wall is good. A couple more pieces for the roofer to finish. You got it in?
Yep. Hold on, let me get my hand out.
Alright. 7/8. Looks good.
We're putting these shims in the bottom flange. It just creates a little space for water to weep out if water ever got back there. You always want to put in a way for the water to get out.
We have all our windows in except one. Stairwell window. Save the best for last. Window in. That's all the windows. We didn't get much footage of us flashing the windows after we nailed them in place, but basically we followed a video by Matt Riesinger about installing windows with exterior foam. So if you're looking to do that, I would highly recommend that video. Very helpful. But basically we took our 6-inch zip, we taped down the sides, and then we taped at the top, and we still need to do our head flashing. We're gonna rent a brake probably when the weather warms up a little more, and neither of us have ever used a brake, so that's kind of what the hesitation has been also, but we'll figure that out. We'll make our head flashing, and then we can finish the insulation on these headers. The next step would be putting up the rest of our strapping here around the windows, and then trimming and siding, but that'll come later, probably in the spring. That's how we installed our windows. There's definitely tons of different ways to do it, but with exterior insulation, this was the way that worked for us. Prepping the door sill with stretch tape. So what we should have done is done a recess in here, like maybe an inch, inch and a half. And then we could have put foam and a piece of wood and then set the door on that, but we didn't think ahead. So this is what we're gonna do. Put stretch tape down. This was the first layer, we'll have a second layer, and then that will roll up to create an end dam, and then we'll have a piece of trim on the floor that goes against the threshold to keep that from leaking. Get this tight to the corners. Whoop, there it goes, sticking to itself. Oh my gosh, of course, sticks really well to everything. The other night we finished taping this up. So what I'm gonna do now is plumb up the door jamb. We got our door here. It's lined up so when we stand it up, it'll be in the frame. And Taylor's gonna put some caulk down on this. We get all our shims in. Alright, caulk is all done. Alright, you got it?
I got it.
This needs to go that way. Oh yeah, that's better. The door is installed. Not completely, but here it is. Opens nice. Closes pretty tight. I think it's just the way the weather stripping is. So following Gary Katz's video on how to set doors, it's very helpful. Highly recommend it. The next step will be shimming around the door to make the gaps even. Doors are shimmed and we foamed around them, so now we just gotta cut these off and then trim back the foam. For the sill pan, I mentioned that this was gonna roll up and then we were gonna put a piece to hold it up. This is a piece of cedar. This was our zip stretch tape. It's folded up. So as you can see, we folded it up. There's a little spider running. And then it's folded up along this whole thing. And we just put some finish nails in. We put a little caulk on the bottom of this piece of cedar. Hopefully hold it in place. But that's essentially like our, kind of like a back dam, I guess. Like water won't be able to run into the house with this folded up here. So we'll see how long it lasts. I think cedar in contact with cement is probably not ideal, but should last a couple years at least. If it doesn't, we'll just replace it with some PVC or something. So that's how I did that. There's probably a bunch of different ways to do it, but so far it's working. With the door installed, we need to do something about this exposed zip tape, obviously. This is our foundation foam. So we need to cover the tape and protect the foam. So what we came up with was some sill nosing. This is from Pemco. I think this is like 2 1/4 inch, and basically it'll just slide under here and it will protect that area. The first thing is to measure this. Caulk is what holds this on.
We're applying it this way so that any water that gets under the door would be able to drain out. So now we got our caulk on there. We wiped the tape down, and we're using just a couple tools here. Pry bar and a rubber mallet.
I just can't get under there good enough. There
we go. And now it's under there. It's gonna stay under. We just kind of work our way down the whole length like that. Oh wow, this is the easy one.
This one is.
We struggled with the first two and spared you all that. There we go. And now that the whole thing is under, or is under there the whole way, you can just kind of work your way down the length. And tap it in until it stops. Give it a couple taps down just to make sure that caulk is making good contact.
I'll run a little bit of clear caulk here so water isn't trying to get under there. And we're gonna have to figure out something we can kind of kick against this. So maybe like a piece of sheet metal that's thick enough but not too thick that we can slide it up under here, and it would be like our surface for kicking gravel off our boots or snow or mud or anything. I think it looks pretty decent. There's a good method to extending that threshold a little bit. All the doors and windows are installed and we're looking good.